What up, everybody? Yes, welcome to another Walk and Talk Day. You know what I mean? This year, we're just gonna be talking about everything. It's gonna be all wrapped up in every show. Maybe I have a specific show and specific titles, but pretty much there's a lot of stuff going on the world stage. I have a lot of thoughts going on over here. So we're gonna mash it up and combine on these Walk and Talks, you know what I mean? Y'all know style Walk and Talk 2025, we out here. Sun is shining. You know what I mean? Man, last year was crazy, huh? Kendrick stood up to the crowd for hip hop last year. Drake, the industry plant, because remember enough, the industry is pushing everything and doing everything for him to keep him on top. Well, he's not on top no more. He can't find a hit for nobody. Maybe all the ghostwriters are refusing now. Who really knows? Maybe he went through all the best ghostwriters. Who really knows? You know? Nothing's working for the kid. And Kendrick is just doing his thing. When you're real, you're real. When you're fake, you're fake. Hey, they say Drake was a numbers guy. But Kendrick is beating him all over the place. Hey, 2025 a year so far, man. But you know, hey, what goes up must come down. You know what I'm saying? And within every hip hop battle, there's a winner and there's a loser. Normally the loser fades away and fade out. Drake's hanging on, yo. Lawsuits. Yo, he's in litigations right now. Hey, just gonna have to watch the show, y'all. You know? Channel Star, Walk and Talk 2025. Here we go, y'all. Yeah, man, tap in, like and share the video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscription button. You know what I'm saying? Help me grow this channel. Channel Star. And so I will see y'all on the other side of the intro. See ya. Hey. Channel. What's up, man? Like and share the video, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Biggest thing though, give me a subscription. Come on. Help me grow this channel, y'all. And tap into my other channels as well. At Conscious356 and at CLP Got Beats. You know, we're building a whole network over here. We got beats, we got podcasts, then we got everything right here on this channel. So tap in, show some love, subscribe, drop a comment if you're feeling the vibration, the vibing. You know. What up, everybody? How is all doing? Hope all is well. And if not, hope we can get back on track sooner than later. So you can add to your thing in the 2025. You know what I'm saying? I know a star. You know, I was thinking, since the show is a mixture of everything, talk about this, talk about that. We're just gonna talk about everything that's going on. Because as you know, the world is the stage. You know what I'm saying? On the world stage, something's always going on.
Listen to the sound.
So, you know the world is the stage. We got life talk, economic talks, matrix talk, alien talk, and everything is popping off in these times. So we have a lot on the table. So we're just gonna touch a few topics today. And some of them is gonna be recurring this year too. You know? Because you know we all waiting for the Diddy trial. Now last year, I was all on the YSL stuff. You telling me it's not planned out, set up, a show? Because the YSL case finished right before the year started. And then they set up the next contestants, the next show series on the world stage. You know, the Diddler, Dirk Banks. Yo, who is all getting caught up now? Dr. Umar, King Kong consciousness himself. He's getting caught up in scandals. Reality, you know. But it's just the struggles that people go through in life. Can't mask it, it's reality. But you know what I'm gonna start off with though? From last year, now what's going on this year, and people are just deep diving and digging in. I finally heard that GNX album, you know? And it's a solid, dope album. I like that track Luther though. Maybe because I'm growing with it, I don't know. But it's a really nice song. A bunch of other stuff. And of course, turn the TV off. You know? But man, what, hip-hop about to be 51 now? In 50 years of hip-hop, ain't nobody ever went to court after losing a beef, losing a rap battle. Ain't nobody went through litigations. And I just heard what UMG had to say back in court because they're filing for dismissal. It doesn't make any sense. Drake participated in that beef, right? He said, doesn't make any sense. But UMG just hit Drake to show some proof. But you gotta analyze the lyrics though. In the rap battle, he trying to say the most disrespectful, you know? He trying to shut the competition down. And at this point, no matter what Champagne Poppy do, he can't come back from that. That A minor bar, diabolical. True or not, just the perspective of things in. And I'm in these YouTube streets. And I didn't know they were throwing shots at each other for so long. Of course, you know, I normally say I'm a casual hip-hop fan, but I ain't gonna front, man. King Kendrick got me listening to more and more hip-hop as of late. You know? J. Cole took himself out there running, but he's slowly putting music out to come back. You know? But yo, this must be the greatest fall off in hip-hop history. Because Drake was king. Drake was reigning. numbers wise, on those charts wise, Billboard 100, hits after hits after hits. But you know, that shows you what the machine can do. It shows you with the machine, without. We see plenty of players, nice individuals, going, growing, rising, and they get cut off. Not even because of battles, but because of mistakes and situations they get themselves in. Because this life game is no joke. And one name comes to mind, look at Young Buck. He wasn't beefing nobody. But he made his mistake for 50, whatever that was. No machine, no Young Buck. You know? Wow. But Drake was so high up, his fall is taking real drastic measures. Drake was king. I wasn't really a fan of the music, but hey, it is what it is. People like what they like, right? But you know, it's a turnaround for hip hop. Seems like it's going back to lyricism. Because they say stuff is a boomerang. What goes around comes around. What's up must go down and back up again. That's the cycle. You know? If Drake is talented, he better stay afloat. I just seen Ja Rule on the interview talking about it. You know what happened to him? Drake haven't been honest. Remember, he has writers. He has ghost writers that write his bars for him. So he can't even think straight, word. But then it goes back to him saying he sold his soul. He gave him his soul in the beginning of his career. I was watching the end, man. Looked like he's gonna drag his end out. But hey, that's the world stage. There's storylines and happenings. You know? You know what? In these YouTube streets, you hear so much. They say Drake was just about to take a break. He dropped the album with 21. At the top of the world. He just happened to do that song with J. Cole. Trying to figure out who's the best. And Cole was like, we the big three. You know? And y'all know the history. K-Dot's like, hell no, there ain't no big three. But that's hip-hop. Bars. Calling people out. That's the hip-hop I know. I don't know about y'all. It's a different time, man. But it's the same because it's a retrospect. He's coming back. He's going back to lyrics because Kendrick is a wordsmith. And you already know there's tons of lyricists out there. You know what I mean? New lyricists, old school lyricists, the underground scene. There's a lyricist I gotta shout out, which I really gotta look into. Locksmith. I heard stuff throughout the past, but I've been consistently keeping up with the guy. Man, I know he got bars, lyrics, and it makes sense. That's hip hop. Kendrick makes sense. That's hip hop. All that mumbling stuff, all that just saying whatever, or just saying stuff to get people, hyped up. That's not hip hop. But I understand though. 50 years old, it has to grow and go in different directions. You know what I'm saying? And we see the different changes of hip hop. We see how it's going and growing. But at the same time, when I get technical and I look deep into it, I'm asking the question if it's a psyop. asking the question, is it a psyop? You know? Because of the way society is going, but because of when you look at the inner city, is it a setup? The thinking, how people look at the inner city, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, to survive and make it through the harshest conditions. And it ain't gotta be that way. They said there's more money in the economy. It's just that the business owners are playing with the prices on goods. So they're upping and inflating it because they want to make more money. Companies buying the other companies so they have control. That's what's going on here. If there's way more money in the economy, how come there's not much money around? That's the psyop I'm talking about. But remember enough, they engineer society. And my question is this type of psyop and they're using that as a tool? Hey, when I was younger, I was willing to rap too. And all I know is about the hood and gotta be real out here in the streets and, you know? But you know what I realized? There's always been options. Plenty and plenty of options. You know what I'm saying? In this life, there's always choices to make, decisions to make, and you have to stay disciplined within yourself. And in societies, keeping discombobulated, keeping things straight. What the mess was going on? You know? Then the inner cities is all messed up because people are poor, struggling to survive, going through it. They set this matrix system up. So there's not enough time. And then with the inflation system, making it harder and harder, and that's every year. And this is a system we are born into. Because ever since I was young, stuff was always going up. You know? So there's a lot to discuss and talk about. You know what I'm saying? And with the Drake situation, he telling me I just gotta laugh about it, man. He was really egging Kendrick to come up and drive. Remember? He was saying drive, let's go. Hey, but this is the greatest fall, you know? This is the greatest fall we're witnessing right now. It's crazy as up. Now, it's crazy how I had a friend that lived in Canada. And she said, before Drake got on, she remembered him in the weekend out there hustling hard, out there in the parks, really trying to get on. Remember, Drake was on TV as well. I don't know about the guy character, you know? I don't know about the guy, but I guess he, you know, transitioned from TV to rapping at some point. He's a good actor. Because, you know, he's rapping them bars and acting all hard and I'm gonna jam you before you jam me and all of that. Those are the last bars I'm hearing before the Kendrick stepped in, you know? Hey, it is what it is. We in 2025. Everything is up. We are seeing the downfall of Drake. We're seeing the hip hop stepping up, real spitters. King Kendrick is taking the throne because who else is out there? Jay's in the NFL. Nas is aging out slowly, gracefully, because he's the last king. You know what I mean? And all the youngins, the Dre rappers are all going to jail before they blow up. Because as soon as they blow up, you hear their name, they're dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, hey, I don't know. Kendrick got me listening, but I ain't really hearing much to listen to out here. I'm gonna stick with the Kendrick stuff for now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play the old school stuff every now and then, but I don't want to hear that every day. I don't want to be stuck in the past. I'm still being my creative self. So I want to go to the future, and I want to hear new stuff. You know? But then again, so much research to do, so much research to get things undergoing. This documentary I'm working on, you know, all the lies. We have to understand that it's been all lies up to this point. And now it's about uncovering the truth, unveiling the truth. So we're going to talk about everything, y'all. You know, we're going to talk about everything. FBAs. Now, when I talk about FBA, right, I'm Jamaican. I'm Foundation Black Jamaican, FBJ. Foundation Black Jamaican. But yeah, the Caribbean Islands are part of their America. So when some FBA just want to be straight up, you just got to be from here and that's it. But what about the whole Western Hemisphere? You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, the whole Western Hemisphere was by themselves. Before the rush came and the Europeans started conquering other lands because they have guns or whatnot and more weapons. You know? So we're all in this together. That's what we got to understand. Right now I'm in Connecticut, so I'm going to look at the history of Connecticut, the tri-state area, and all of that. Because it's very deep, man. You know, when I was little, when I saw the Aboriginals of Australia, the world accept them, but why hide everything else? Why hide history of everywhere else? You know? But yeah, Walker Talk is back in the fact. So we're out here, we're going to talk about everything, you know what I mean? Everything that's going on the world stage. History and all of that too. No more mystery. You know? And now I know why there were free people and slave people. Because they couldn't enslave everybody, you know what I'm saying? Remember enough? The Aboriginal people, FBA people, were living their lives. Until the Europeans came and settled, and they were allowed to settle too. But after about 2 centuries, though, they started, you know, acting up and started taking over things. And I believe that's when they started their plot, their plan to hide all the truth. You know what I mean? That's when I believe, when they started they taking over. Because remember, you know, George Washington said, in 200 years, they won't even know who they are. That's how far back their plans were. You know what I mean? John Star. Keep it short today. Such a nice day. You know what I mean? We're going to get into a lot of stuff's on the world stage. You know, we didn't even talk about Umar, but we're going to get into that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So thank y'all for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscription button. And come on now, if you've been watching my shows for a minute, drop a comment, let me know what's up, who you are, who's watching. You know what I mean? On that note, I'm going to catch you on the next vibration. CLP. Be out.